Hello, friends, and welcome to the Exploring Washington State podcast. My name is Scott Cowan, and I'm the host of the show. Each episode, I have a conversation with an interesting guest who is living in or from Washington State. These are casual conversations with real and interesting people. I think you're going to like the show. So let's jump right in with today's guest. I'm sitting down today with Jessica Alexanderson, otherwise as I know her as Scuba Jess. But today, we had her on before and we talked scuba diving and a little bit of recycling. So today we're going to flip the script. It's going to be recycling and maybe a little scuba diving. So Jessica, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott, for having me, and to all your amazing listeners. I am happy to be here. Greetings from Bellevue, Washington. I need your help. I need everybody's help in the state of Washington. That's why I'm here. So I am here to beg you all for your empty aluminum cans. So if you have anybody in your life that drinks a lot of Diet Coke, a lot of LaCroix, beer cans, any kind of aluminum cans, we want them for our local elementary school here in Bellevue, Washington. So
why don't you tell us a little bit more about this? Because it's not just Bellevue, it's nationwide.
Yes, I am hosting a nationwide aluminum can recycling contest called the 2 Million Cans Recycling Contest, and I currently have 18 schools all across the U.S. competing to see which school can recycle the most cans. They actually started up in October, and the contest runs through end of April. And I focus mostly on the lowest recycling states in the country, which is pretty much the whole country. The U.S. averages 43% of aluminum cans, but I picked pretty much the lowest states. So West Virginia is the worst in the entire U.S. They only recycle 6% of cans in West Virginia, and they're actually currently in first place in my contest. So it's pretty amazing to see. to see this progress. And if you make it, I feel like if you make it a really fun game, little kids want to help and give them the tools to do it, they can do it. So I have West Virginia, I have Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Kentucky, and then I have the one school up here in Bellevue, Washington for Pacific Northwest. So,
which is where you're based out of. So that's you got to have one in the hometown area. Okay. 2 million cans. What's going to happen with those cans once they've been gathered? What's next?
Yes. So I actually team up the elementary schools with the local scrapyard, the closest scrapyard in town that agrees to let them borrow a bin. And the schools keep 100% of the money from the cans they recycle. So not a lot of people know this these days. I don't know why this knowledge got lost somewhere, but aluminum actually has value. It's made out of metal and it's 100% recyclable. And so the math that we do is 35 cans for a pound. So the schools don't actually have to individually count every single can. Some classrooms do count it for fun math projects, but basically they fill up the bin. When it's full, the scrapyard comes, takes it away, and they weigh the cans, and then they pay the school directly for the cans. And so I asked all of my scrapyards for a minimum of 50 cents a pound. If they want to pay higher, that's great, because the aluminum prices fluctuate all the time. But basically the math is 70 cans for $1. And so 100% of that money goes to the schools, and then the schools use that can money for different things. So the school in West Virginia that's in first place, they need a new playground. I guess their playground is not in good shape and hasn't been for years. And so they've been trying to fundraise for that. And so they're using the can money. And so now everybody in like the whole, pretty much all of West Virginia knows about this school, and they're all saving cans and bringing them there. And then my school in Alabama, they haven't had functioning bleachers in 20 years in their gym. And so they're using the can money from aluminum cans to get new aluminum bleachers in the gym. So it's kind of cool to see the full circle.
What's the Bellevue school doing?
Bellevue?
Mm-hmm.
Bellevue actually hasn't told me what they're doing with the money yet. So I'm trying to figure out, I feel like if we could put out like into the community, like what their focus is for the money, then hopefully like it'll pull on some heartstrings and people will save more cans. The school down in Waco, Texas, they're using the money for the school lunch fund to help feed the hungry kids. So each school just kind of figures out like where the best use is for it.
All right. You've done this before, and you gathered 1 million cans.
Yes, it was really actually pretty amazing. So I had the 8 schools last year as my test run, and they recycled 1.3 million cans. And it's just been fantastic. And so I have this amazing sponsor, Can Manufacturers Institute, based out of Washington, D.C., their trade association. And they actually represent all of the largest aluminum can companies pretty much in the world, but for sure in the U.S. And so each school is kind of paired up with an aluminum sponsor, like the people actually make the cans, or a scrapyard, and then like any kind of sponsors. But yeah, so then those companies will actually go in and teach the kids about like how they actually make the cans out of the recycled cans. So the kids are learning the whole circle. So it's been pretty amazing. So the aluminum companies want their cans back because it's 95% less energy to make a can out of recycled aluminum rather than mining the bauxite out of the earth again and starting over. So it's a huge savings. It's like one of the easiest ways to help our planet, just by not throwing your can in a garbage or in the oceans or on the side of the road, but actually putting it in a recycle bin. And then another really fun fact about aluminum cans is that they only take 60 to 90 days to become a new can. So as soon as you put it in the recycle bin, it gets turned into a new can really fast. They're all melted down pretty much at Logan Aluminum in Kentucky. So your cans go to the scrapyard, they get baled, and then they get loaded into a truck or a train. They go to Kentucky, they get melted down, and then the whole process starts over again.
So we're not like Alcoa.
Uh-huh.
They're not recycling. So back in the day, in Tacoma and here in Wenatchee, there was an Alcoa plant, right? And they were making aluminum. So they're not.
The company
recycling.
I'm working with now, Kaiser Aluminum, I think they bought out Alcoa, or they're a partner. I'm not really exactly sure how it all works, but yeah, I'm working with Kaiser, and I guess they used to be Alcoa. Yeah. I don't know if they actually have any melting facilities here in Washington State. I'm trying to figure that out still because I want to go on a tour, but I took a tour of Logan Aluminum, which makes like half the aluminum in the country, and they're outside of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
So in the 90s, I had to service some of the Kaiser facilities.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to go there. They're terrifying.
Really? Oh,
well, it's just these huge molten cauldrons of and they're, I don't know, it was like apocalyptic looking in there, and I was just, anyway. Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of like a total scrap geek now, nerd. Like, I love wearing my hard hat, my steel toe boots. I'm like, put me in a work zone. Like, I want to see how things are made, and I just love seeing those big machines and meeting the people that are actually running them. And just the people that are making our aluminum cans are like some of the nicest, most amazing people, and they work so hard. There's just actually so many robots and different things that go into making a can that a lot of us probably never even think about. So.
Another aluminum can story I have for you is during that same era, Ball had a distribution center in Auburn.
Oh, awesome!
And they would stack. I'll call them pallets of aluminum cans, and I was in there one day, and a guy with a forklift knocked over the.
Oh no!
Well, empty aluminum cans make a lot of noise when they come crashing down. It was awful.
Shoot, that's
anyway,
crazy.
I digress.
No, that's awesome. I actually got to take a tour of the Ball facility in Indiana, in Monticello, when I went to visit some of the schools there, and they make 9 million cans every single day just in that one facility. And then they had them all stacked up too, like on those pallets, and they stack them like so high, like it's like a mountain castle of cans. And so
imagine those coming down.
I can't even imagine. That'd be so scary. Like, that is like raining cans.
So this year we're trying to raise 2 million cans.
Yes.
And you have these schools. And we're here to get the word out to Washingtonians that they can help.
Yes.
Let's get specific.
Okay.
Where can they drop stuff off?
So there's 3 locations you can drop off. If you're in anywhere near around Bellevue, you can drop them off directly at the elementary school, Sherwood Forest Elementary. They have a humongous bin in their school parking lot from Radius Recycling. And it has a humongous sign on it that says aluminum cans only. It's very hard to miss. Or if you are in Tacoma or Woodinville, Radius Recycling is the scrapyard that we paired up the school with. So you can bring cans directly to either of those locations, and I can send out the address for those. But if you just go there, they'll weigh the cans, and then usually they'll just pay you for the cans. But if you say, no, these are for Sherwood Forest Elementary for the 2 million cans recycling contest, they'll add the cans to the school's account. And so, it's a a really fun way to help out the kids, help out the community. And then also, if you want to, while you're going there, take a box of wires or any other metal items, go cash those in too, and have fun looking at all the machines.
How did you get started doing this?
I got started doing this. So I was at my last job, Evergreen Shipping, for 15 years. So imports, exports, I shipped containers on big cargo ships all over the world. And one of my nicest customers that never yelled at me, which is very rare, Brad Rudover, he owns Detroit Scrap. So he's a metal recycler. And he grew up in a scrapyard family, and he learned from a very young age to never throw metal in the garbage, which is like the total opposite of my childhood growing up in Utah, where we would just like pay to go to the landfill. And so one day I kind of called Brad out of the blue and asked him if he was hiring. And long story short, he basically hired me to start a kids division of his company because he has 2 young daughters, Ellie and Lexi. They were 3 and 6 at the time. And he is a very creative guy. He's a storyteller. He's an author. And so we decided to get our 30-year goal is to eliminate metal from the trash. And we're going to start with cans, and we're going to start by storytelling and writing kids' books. And so we started, our first book is called The Girl Who Recycled 1 Million Cans. It's now won some book awards. It's been pretty amazing. And it's Ellie, Brad's daughter, who loves unicorns. And so she wants to recycle 1 million cans so she can buy a unicorn. And she's actually wearing a little Pearl Jam shirt because we're here in Seattle and Pearl Jam let us use their logo. So that was really awesome. And then, so I'm like, cool, Brad, this is great, 1 million cans, but what do you do with the cans? So he actually took me on my first ever trip to a scrapyard in Seattle called Seattle Iron. And I got to see the car shredder, which was amazing. And I got to take a tour of the scrapyard, and it's actually like, it looks really scary from the outside, but once you go in, it's like really pretty clean and organized. They have all the different metals separated. It's really cool. They have the eddy current separating out the aluminum and big magnets coming down to get anything ferrous. So, I was like, okay, well, this is great. Scrapyards are cool, but the problem is that a lot of people either don't know about a scrapyard or they're busy. They don't have time to go there. And so that's why my idea was like, why don't we bring scrapyards to elementary schools? Because usually people know where the school is in their town, and they can just drop their items off right at school. And then the schools keep the money. So it's like a win-win for everyone. And we just want to focus on one thing first, just cans, because everybody knows what a can is. And then the schools aren't getting like overrun with like big piles of other random metal items. So just wanted to do like one item at a time. And then schools can have like a monthly calendar where they can pick other items for the kids to bring in. So like 1 month they could do Christmas lights, 1 month they could do USB chargers and headphones, just another way to fundraise more money for the schools. And then all of the parents can kind of do some spring cleaning. So yeah, that was my crazy idea, and it's just kind of taken off. And the really fun, exciting update yesterday is that there's like kind of a recycling convention going on in Washington, D.C. And I just found out that they ordered a bunch of my books and they were giving them away at the Smithsonian yesterday. So
Wow.
That was really cool. And I got my friend texted me a picture, and I've never even been to the Smithsonian, but I've heard about it, and I'm like, that's crazy that they have my books there. So
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So thank you for interviewing me and taking the time. So I want to expand the contest next year. So I'm starting up a nonprofit called the Recycling Society. It's almost up and running. We can take donations now, but we can't give out any tax receipts yet till the IRS approves us, which might take 6 to 8 months. But I want to get donations, and I want to expand my program to 100 schools next year. And I would love to get more schools in Washington State. So if any listeners are teachers who think this would be a fun thing for their school, please reach out to me, because I would love to expand to more schools in Washington State, and then obviously all across the U.S. So if you have friends or relatives that are teachers in other states, if they can let them know about my contest. The kids get free copies of my book, The Girl Who Recycled 1 Million Cans. Usually the 2nd graders or 3rd graders at the school get the free book. If I could get enough funding, I would love to give books to every single student at the school, just because they're all collecting cans. So I'd love to have them all get a little prize, and then they can take home the books to read with friends and families. And we want these kids to like have behavioral change, just recycle for several months and like just kind of build that up in their minds. And then when they see like any of their friends or parents or grandparents or anybody else not recycling the cans, and these little kids are like the adorable little recycling army, and they'll run out and they'll teach everybody to never throw cans in the garbage.
They can yell at Grandpa. Okay.
So
What is the optimal school? Are we talking elementary, middle, or high school?
Elementary school, because the book's pretty much based on, it's pretty good for little kids, and we want to teach them at a very young age and like build that up. So kind of like Smokey the Bear or the Dare Child, like you learn that pretty young and then you remember it. But we love it when the high school kids or junior high get involved also and help collect cans around town, like at football games or any sporting event, and save them for the elementary school, or they can help like decorate posters to put around town. So love the whole community to come together. But the contest is, for elementary, and then any other schools in the area can help out. I have another really fun, exciting announcement that I probably shouldn't, I don't know when this is airing, but I have an announcement for March 18th, so.
This will be out a couple of days before, so it's breaking news. Okay,
breaking news. So the Pittsburgh Penguin hockey team is having me come over for March 18th, Global Sustainability Day, with my school, Environmental Charter School in Pittsburgh. Their sponsor from Can Manufacturers Institute is PPG Paint. And so it's actually the PPG Paint arena where the Penguins play. And they're going to donate all of the cans and aluminum cups from the stadium from that game to my school in Pittsburgh. And we're going to hold like a pep rally at the school. And the Pittsburgh Penguin mascot, his name's Iceberg, is going to go to school with me. And we're going to read to the kids and teach them about recycling. So I'm really excited about that. So now I want to get like the Seattle Mariners on board and like, come on, Seattle teams, we got to do this, or the Kraken or something.
I would think you'd be able to accomplish that.
I think so. I think I could do it. I just haven't had the brain power yet for it, but maybe this week I'll call out the Mariners and be like, hey guys, if the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing this, like what's Seattle going to do? Like, let's step it up. Because we have some amazing venues and teams here. And so we got to support our local elementary school kids.
There's lots of options I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a photo on the recyclingislikemagic.com website.
Oh, okay.
Number 38. The car.
Number 38.
The car.
Oh, yes, the NASCAR. Yes, so this was a really exciting thing that happened last year. So Brad, my business partner, his best friend, owns a metal recycling analyzing gun company called SciAps. So he's like this super smart scientist guy, and he invented this gun that can, I don't know if he invented it, but yeah, he started his company. They can scan like any piece of metal and tell you like the alloys in it or the grades of like how much nickel or how much aluminum, how much copper. It's pretty cool. It's very Star Trek, like a tricorder. And so his company is called SciAps, and he also loves NASCAR. So he has his own NASCAR racing team. And so they put my book on the hood of the car at the Daytona 500 and at the Talladega. And so I actually got to go to the Talladega race in Alabama last year. And I was working with the NASCAR sustainability team, and we were out there collecting cans from my school in Alabama. And the race car driver, Matty DiBendetto, he came out before the race to the kids zone and read my book to the kids, the Girl Recycle One Lane Cans. And I actually brought like a blow up unicorn pool floaty, because at the end of my book there's a unicorn pool floaty. I won't ruin the ending, but he actually came out and sat on that and was reading to the kids. So it was amazing. And then he came in 8th place at the race, and they interviewed him after, and he said he had magical unicorn power. So that was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. I've never been really into NASCAR before, and just going there and seeing it live, like I got to be on pit row, like right above where they change the tires and everything, and it was like so amazing. And just like the sounds, and they go so fast, like it's insane. Like you see it on TV, like yeah, that's really fast, but like seeing it in real life, it's crazy. So yeah, that was pretty magical.
That's pretty cool.
My old boss actually saw the car on TV, and he's like really into NASCAR, and I haven't talked to him for a few years, and he was like messaging me that night. He's like, I think I just saw your book on a NASCAR. I'm like, yep, that was it. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So what you're doing is very cool. And actually, I'm looking at the photo now where the driver's sitting on the unicorn. That's funny. Okay. That's actually hysterical.
Isn't it great? I couldn't even believe I asked like this professional NASCAR driver to sit on my unicorn. And he said yes. He's the nicest guy. We might actually do a NASCAR recycling book. That's like in our future goals. So to teach the kids that there's actually aluminum in the NASCAR. So if you recycle your cans, it can actually be a car, or a race car one day.
That's very cool. What about recycling do we need to know that we don't know?
I feel like people are very confused about recycling, especially when it comes to plastic. And so I say, I don't know if this answers the question really, but my motto is really reduce as much as possible, reuse everything. Like, always try to bring a reusable water bottle if you can. Don't buy a plastic water bottle wrapped in more plastic. Like, that just makes me so sad. If you can use like a cool metal aluminum bottle, like they make aluminum bottles with lids now, use that instead as much as possible. And then when it dies, take it to your local scrapyard and cash it in. But I basically want to teach the awareness that instead of paying to recycle, like on your curbside recycling, probably Waste Management is going to hate me for saying this, but save all your metal items, go to your neighbors' houses, collect everybody's metal, and maybe once a month or once a quarter, whenever your pile is big enough, somebody that has a truck, go to the scrapyard and cash it all in and make money from recycling your metal instead of paying to recycle. Might as well make a flip it around. But yeah, just try to reduce as much as you can. I do cleanup walks every day, and just the amount of litter I'm finding on the side of the roads is like heartbreaking. Just so much single-use plastic. Styrofoam's like the worst invention of all time. Nobody knows what to do with it. And if you see a piece of styrofoam on the side of the road, like if you're able to pick it up without crashing and dying, obviously safety first, pick it up, because if you come back the next day with good intentions of getting that piece of styrofoam, it's too late. It's been broken down into like 5 million little pieces, and then you'll be out there all day with a broom. So basically, if you do want to recycle your cans in curbside recycling and be a good human, they don't want you to crush your cans for that. But if you're going to bring your cans directly to the scrapyard, they don't care if you crush them or not. So if you want to have your kids go outside and jump on the cans, or if you want to just go out on your lunch break and get some energy out, go ahead, jump on them, crush them. So yeah, and then I think Waste Management, like the blue curbside recycling people, don't want you to put any wires or Christmas lights in those bins. But they all have copper and aluminum, so don't throw them away. Take them to scrapyard and they'll pay for them by the pound.
Okay. So this contest ends in April?
Yep. April 30th. And then we'll announce the winner probably the first week of May, because we have to let all the scrapyards pick up all the cans and weigh them and get me the totals.
Okay. So, once again, where in Bellevue?
Yes, Bellevue, Washington. So Sherwood Forest Elementary. They're pretty near the Redmond border, actually. So I can give you their address, actually, if that would be helpful. Oh, let's see here. Sherwood Forest. Sorry. It is 16411 Northeast 24th Street, Bellevue, Washington. 98008, very close to my dive shop, Silent World Diving. So if you're a diver, there's also a great dive shop near the school. And then Radius Recycling is in Woodinville, near the Costco in Woodinville. And their Tacoma location, that's the big one. It's down right near the Port of Tacoma. So you can actually go to Radius Recycling and see all of my old evergreen ships right there at the port.
All right. We'll put this out. So
awesome.
Going to shift gears on you, scuba diving, because when we had you on before, you're really into diving.
I really am.
You pull up a lot of debris.
Yes.
So since we talked last, do you find anything interesting?
Oh my gosh, let's see. So much stuff. The other day we pulled out 36 shoes from the ocean just on one dive. And then a lot of the usual, like the most common things, just so many golf balls, a lot of those floss sticks, like the little tooth flossers, forks, spoons, knives, straws. I think I probably told you last time about the teeth I found in the ocean. That was definitely the creepiest thing. I feel like I got something really weird the other day, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm always taking it out and taking pictures of it, and I look for like octopus or little crabs and stuff. So if you want to see my pictures, I post them on like Facebook and Instagram. But trying to think of, I got a fishing pole on my dive the other night. I don't know. I just like getting some garbage and a little octopus came walking by. So that was fun. I'm trying to think of like what the weirdest thing was recently. I'll think of it later up, probably like 2 a.m. But yeah, just so much, mostly just plastic cans, bottles, Oh, the vapes. That's the new thing lately. Those little vaporizing machines. I don't know what they are. I don't smoke, but they have lithium batteries inside, which is really terrible for the ocean, and they're made of plastic, and I just keep seeing those everywhere lately. So if you vape, please don't throw those in the ocean. Like, I know they're causing a lot of fires actually at like waste facility places like that sort the trash, and waste management is having a lot of fires lately because those little vape machines start on fire. So they're actually really scary. But yeah, that's probably the newest addition. And I just feel like maybe they're more common now. And so they're ending up in the ocean more because I didn't used to see them like 10 years ago.
Okay. Been any great dives?
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is the year of hatching adorable hatching sea creatures. So started off the new year with a bang with a baby giant Pacific octopus hatching at Redondo Beach. Which is amazing because that's like our #1 dive site that we usually go to. And I've seen this, that was my 5th time seeing octopus hatch. So I've seen them at Three Tree Point in Burien, Cove 2 or Alki Beach in West Seattle. And then I saw them in Gig Harbor at sunrise and Sundrock in the Hood Canal, and then this now at Redondo Beach. And so this one, it's really sad because the mom usually dies right when the octopus hatch. But she actually, we named her Olive. We saw her right when she moved into the den, and we watched her take care of her eggs for like 7 months while she slowly starved to death. It was so sad, but she was such a great mom. But she actually died before all of the eggs had hatched. And so Eric and I have learned over time that if you see eggs and the mom isn't there, if you actually aerate the eggs and like blow water with your hand onto the eggs, they'll hatch if they're ready. So we actually hatched our own babies. So that was really great. And then like the next day I went to West Seattle because I had some friends visiting from California and I was showing them around. They wanted to see some stubby squids, which are cute. And then I went over to check on the fish eggs that I have been watching for a couple weeks, kelp greenling eggs. And I did the same thing. I kind of aerated them, and all of these little baby fish just burst out of the eggs like fireworks. And they're like bright blue and really colorful. And then last week we had baby squid hatching. And so we actually saw the squid mating event a couple months ago, like hundreds of squids that are about, I don't know, like a foot long, market squids. They were like mating and swarming and laying these big egg capsules. They're like big white egg capsules, and they have like hundreds of little baby eggs inside. Or baby squids inside those one capsule. And so, yeah, the other day I looked at those and I could see like little eyeballs inside, and yeah, they were hatching too. So, and the baby squid were the smallest. They make the baby octopus look really big, which is insane because these are all like smaller than the size of a grain of rice, like just really little microscopic little guys. But I have a pretty good zoom lens on my camera. So when I get home, I can like zoom in and see them, and they all have different colors and textures, and yeah, it's really fun.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was probably the 3 best dives were all my hatching events this year. And I actually just got interviewed by the King 5 News about the baby octopus hatching. I haven't seen the footage yet, but they interviewed us at the Mast Aquarium. There's like a free, really awesome aquarium as part of the Highline College at Redondo Beach. And they have like this amazing touch tank and aquarium that it's open to the public 10 to 2 on Saturday. So I definitely recommend going there. But they have a huge dock, and we usually swim out to the end of the pier and then drop down to dive right there. And Russ from the aquarium was like, why don't you just jump off the dock? And so that was my largest ever like fall into water. Like usually you just jump off like a dive boat and you're like off maybe 3 feet. This was probably like an 8-foot drop. And I was doing it while they were filming for the news. So I was like so nervous because I was like, what if I like belly flop or lose a fin or like something crazy? But I haven't seen the footage yet, but I think I did a good job. I didn't like, everything seemed intact.
Awesome. That's cool.
So that was a lot of fun. So thank you all for listening to me chat about our amazing sea creatures. One other sea creature that's in season right now that I always have to mention it just because I'm obsessed with them and love them is I think I already showed you this last time, but the Pacific spiny lumpsuckers. So
yes.
Our little flying golf balls, they're in season right now too. So we go out lumpy hunting, photography style, and we're always out there looking for the lumpies. So it's a good time of year right now. The water is really clear, and yeah, the sea creatures are out. So, and they're all asking for help. They're all asking you to all never, ever, ever litter, or if you see litter, please pick it up, and a lumpy will say thank you, or a giant Pacific octopus will like give you a hug.
Total topic shift.
Yes.
Are your earrings aluminum cans?
Yes. I have can earrings. My friend sent me these, and I love to wear them when I read to the kids because they always just get a kick out of them. But now I'm like, oh, we're talking about can today, so I have to wear my can earrings.
Got it. Okay. Well, you know the drill. I always ask 3 questions. I got to ask them to you again.
Okay.
Where's a great place for coffee?
My favorite place is, it's hard to choose because I have so many, but Bigfoot Coffee, that's number 1. It's a 24-hour drive-through coffee shop. And the one I usually frequent is in Issaquah. And I love to, you can buy a bag, like I think it's a 5-pound bag of coffee beans, or maybe 10 pounds. I don't know. It's pretty huge. Anyways, I get that. Lasts me about a month. But they use Delano's coffee beans, which is a roaster down in Sumner. And I just get the drip coffee with some cream, and it's fantastic. They have a whole wide variety of flavorful coffee if you're into that stuff. But I'm just, I like to have like a chocolate chip cookie with my coffee, and that's where I get the sugar from. So.
Okay. Question number 2.
Okay.
Where's a great place for lunch?
MG, my favorite question. Pickles Deli of Whidbey Island. You have to take the ferry from Mukilteo up to the island and go to Pickles Deli. Unfortunately, they're closed on Sunday, so don't go on Sunday. But they have delicious sandwiches. My favorite is the spicy Italian, and I love to get that to go. Actually, we usually get there pretty early in the morning because we're going diving, so they have really good breakfast menu too. So I usually get the Holy Toledo breakfast wrap and eat that in the car. And then when we get to Keystone and go diving, then we'll bust out our sandwich and eat it on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I asked you this question before. So.
Okay.
But you have to answer it.
Okay.
You have to give me a reason.
Okay.
Cake or pie?
Oh, pie. 100%. Yes, I am a big pie person. I love pie. And my favorite pie place is also on Whidbey Island. It's called Whidbey Island Pie. And I call it the Pie Farm. But it's like in an old farmhouse, and they have like a cheese shop, a wine shop, and a pie shop, and it's amazing. And
and what type of pie?
Cherry pie and all the fruit pies. I love apple pie, but also I'm really huge into pumpkin pie, and I wish pumpkin pie was like year round. But it's limited edition, so.
All right.
How about you? What's your favorite? I didn't even ask you any of these things.
Oh, yeah. See, coffee for me, keeping the Whidbey Island theme.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of Island Time Coffee, which is on Whidbey Island. And that's my go-to coffee when I'm at home.
Awesome.
I drink their coffee.
The Deception Pass, right? Deception Pass blend?
Deception Pass blend.
I love
they
that
have
one.
the Island Sunset. They have their Orcas blend. And then they have a Fairyland Blues.
Ooh, yes.
All 4 of them are quite good. I am really partial to the Island Sunset, which is their French roast.
Oh, yum. I love French
roast.
roast.
And I drink just black coffee.
Nice.
When I'm out and about, probably my favorite coffee shop to go to is up in Twisp.
Oh,
and it's called Blue Star Coffee.
Where's Twisp? Is that by the border?
Winthrop.
Oh, Winthrop. Cool. Wow, okay.
Out in the Methow Valley. I don't get up there as often as I would like. But Blue Star Coffee is in Twisp, and definitely
write that down.
Definitely a solid place.
Cool. Okay, I want to try it. That's awesome.
Lunch, I can't answer. I just don't know anymore.
There's just too many good places. Have you been to Marination in West Seattle? Well, they have multiple locations around Seattle, but the West Seattle one's the best because it has the best view of the skyline.
I think I was there when they were a food truck.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day.
It's a restaurant now, right by where the water taxi leaves West Seattle.
I haven't.
It's fantastic. It's like Hawaiian fusion. Highly recommend it. That's another one of my favorite go-to places. Anytime anybody visits me, I'm like, we're going to Marination, and then we're going to take the water taxi across to Pike Place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For cake or pie, no one's asked me that. That's funny. I would probably have to say pie, and I'm a super. I really like apple pie.
Yeah, apple pie is fantastic.
And so I go pie and apple. So
is there a pie shop that you love?
No.
Just like
no, there's not.
A local bakery?
No. For a guy who talks about Washington State all the time, I don't get out to places like that.
I know. I feel like it's really hard to actually find bakeries nowadays. Like besides on Whidbey Island, like I feel like the pies at QFC and Safeway are sad. Like Costco usually has pretty good pies if you have to get it like from a store, but I don't know. I just feel like there's not very many good bakeries around anymore, which is kind of sad.
There's a bakery cafe place up in Pateros on the Columbia.
Ooh.
And they've got good apple turnovers. I can speak to that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And there's a place called the Cowpath Bakery in Othello.
I got to write these places down.
I have not had pie there.
Oh.
Their donuts are amazing.
Ooh, fantastic.
So there you go. There's some Central Washington recommendations.
For donuts, do you go for like the Boston cream or like the old fashioned or sprinkles or what's your donut go to?
I'm a cake donut fan. Like no shade, but I'm not a fan of like Krispy Kreme donuts. Those airy things. That's just not what I like. I like a
dense,
cake type donut.
Me too. Totally right there with you.
And Cowpath Bakery in Othello. Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
Oh my gosh, I got to go there now just for the donuts, and probably the coffee is great too.
The coffee is quite fine too.
Fantastic.
And, I've always had their. I always drink their cold brew there. It's probably the best cold brew I've had in the state in a long time.
Oh,
really
nice.
Quite good.
Ooh, good. I feel like today's a good cold brew day. It's so nice out today. I'm just like blue skies. Let's get some iced coffee.
So we got 12 states. We got 18 schools. Mm-hmm. We're recycling a bunch of cans.
Yeah, we are now up to 662,235 cans for this contest. And since I started my company in April of 2022, my grand total is 2,222,400 cans.
Right. So keep going.
Yeah, we're on the way to 3 million.
And so I urge everyone that's listening, if you're in the Puget Sound and you can do this, please drop some cans off. Yes. Help the kids. Let's recycle.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you all for listening. If you learn anything from this epic chat with Scott, he's so great. It's just never throw your cans away and pick up your litter and and go to Whidbey Island and have fun.
There you go. Well, Jessica, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day. Oh, I always say live long and prosper at the end.
Hope you enjoyed the show. You can reach me on Twitter at ExploreWaState. I'd love to hear your comments. You can also visit our website at explorewashingtonstate.com. If you know anyone who would like the show, it'd be amazing if you'd share the show with them. This is the biggest way that we grow this show. Good old word of mouth. I'm glad you were here with me today, and I hope to have you listening to the next episode. See you then.